I'm sitting here with Erin Andrews, Fox Sports reporter and co-host of Dancing with the Stars. Erin is back here in Gainesville to visit her alma mater. Erin, now that you're back here and looking back at your time here, what are some of your most memorable moments in the College of Journalism and Communications?
Well, first of all, that was a really good intro. When I do this, I would have flubbed up 15 times and then been like, could we start this over again? Okay, so ask me again, what are some of my favorite moments?
Yeah, just your most memorable moments.
Yeah, I think some of my favorite moments have everything to do with just being able to hold a microphone at Gator basketball or Gator football and interviewing coaches and players, and of course on Saturdays and going to the games and dancing for the basketball team with the Dazzlers. And a lot of my love and great times at UF was centered around sports. Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
On Saturdays, football.
Yeah, it's all you care
Always.
about. Totally.
So your first job coming out of this college
Yep.
was a freelance reporter for Fox Sports Florida. Can
Yep.
you tell me a little bit about how long it took you to land that job and kind of what process you went through to get it?
Yeah, so I had interned pretty much every summer with the NBC affiliate in Tampa. So they were very used to seeing me at Bucks practice or Lightning practice or Orlando Magic practice, holding a microphone and interviewing players and so forth. And I had heard coming out of school, and it wasn't right after I graduated. Like, I was unemployed for a good couple of months. I mean, my mom was even talking about maybe I should be a hostess at Outback Steakhouse and just like get some money, you know? So I heard the Lightning were hiring, and I went in and met with them and admitted to them that I didn't know anything about NHL hockey and that I had come from the University of Florida and I lived and breathed college football, and that was pretty much it. And then from there I got the job and I studied my butt off, and it kind of blew up.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because now your husband is a former NHL player, so now you know a lot about that.
Exactly. Well, yeah. And I learned a lot my first year too, because I mean, I just had to. And that's where I feel like I really learned how to study as a sideline reporter, because you know, it's hard when you don't know a sport, like, you know, Gator football, or you know the NFL.
SEC.
Right, exactly. So it was great because it kind of taught me how to really like bust my butt and study for things.
With that job, did you kind of go on air to begin with, or were you more production? Kind of what did you do?
No, I was the rinkside reporter. So I did reports. I did intermission interviews with the players and the players on the opposing teams. And like I, did a first hit, for the Lightning of the game. And I did the Sunshine, the Lightning report and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, all my stuff was on camera.
That's awesome, especially as your first job out of college.
I know.
Going back to then when you first started, I know there wasn't a lot of women who were working on sports. Can you kind of talk about what it was like being a woman in such like a male-dominated industry?
Yeah, there were a good amount of women, not as many as there are now, but totally. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think I'm just so obsessed with sports that I never look at it like, oh my gosh, I travel with 30 to 40 men every weekend to an NFL city. I'm the only female that travels. And for me, I don't look around and I'm like, whoa. It's just normal for me. It's just what I do. It's what I've done since I was 21, 22 years old. So for me, I think being, one of the few females helps, it fuels me. It's why I have a chip on my shoulder. It's why I study so much. It's why I kind of, am very competitive, because I want to show that I belong, because I never played sports. I think if anything, that's what motivates me more, is that not that I'm a female, but it's like, I've never played in the NFL. I've never played in the NHL. I don't know what those guys are going through. But what I can tell people what they're going through is what I hear on the sidelines and what they're telling their teammates and how they're reacting to their coaches on the field or the ice. So I feel like that, is why I've been able to have success. But it's really what's fueled me more so than just being a woman is the fact I never played.
I was kind of in the same situation. Well, I am now. I never really played sports growing up either, so kind of makes me want to study more.
Right, exactly. Totally.
Were there any instances, maybe not in that regard, that made you kind of want to quit your job or made your job not worth it at any point?
Oh, I mean, there's always times, and I talked about it today with some students, that, an athlete kind of embarrassed you or said something mean. I was crying in a locker room one time when a player was very rude to me and embarrassed me in front of a lot of people. And it was just like, wow. But, you get older and you're just like, okay, really? I don't get paid enough to deal with this. But everybody has bad days in their job, but I love sports so much that I know I have to be involved either way.
So now that you've been working with Fox Sports for a couple years now and as the co-host for Dancing with the Stars, What's next for you in your career? Are you working on anything right now?
Yeah, we're actually pitching 3 shows for me to be an executive producer of, so that's kind of exciting. So I get to be behind the scenes, which is pretty cool. And working on a ladies team apparel line that could be nice and fashionable and fun to get out there. And yeah, that's kind of it. I invested in a company called Religion of Sports that Tom Brady and Michael Strahan and Gautam Chopra are involved in. I don't know if you watch Tom versus Time on Facebook.
I've seen that on Facebook.
Yeah, but I'm working on that. We're trying to come up with new things to kind of show people why sports is such a religion, and it's very exciting. I look up to those 2 guys more so for what they're doing off the field. They're such great businessmen, and I'm so interested and would love to mold myself like that, kind of off camera, like Tom and Michael are doing. So that's really exciting too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that next. Are you moving more into the producing side of things? Is that kind of...
I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
You know, something I always try to tell people is that Michael Strahan is a guy that I look up to so much because of what he does on camera, but more so what he does off of it. He's so involved in so many things and so many ideas, and you know, he produces a lot of things, and I think that's a cool thing to start trying. You know, I have ideas and I know what shows I'd like to see out there, so we've got 3 shows that we're trying to sell right now, and that, you know, I'm going to be behind the scenes, which is super cool to do, and then this religion and sports project, I'm really super excited. So yeah, I'm kind of like looking for new opportunities and new avenues to explore, because I always know I want to be involved in football, and I always want to be involved in entertainment. But I think what's cool about where I am in my life right now is like, what other things can I be involved in?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know you said you want to be in sports and entertainment.
Yeah.
The new Dancing with the Stars season is going to be athletes
All
only.
athletes, right?
How excited are you about that?
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. I'm really excited about, you know, Johnny Damon, and Josh Norman is a friend, obviously, and Tanya Harding will be really cool, especially after the movie just came out. Yeah, it's always a fun time. It's a different way of life for me on Dancing with the Stars, because I'm such a tomboy and I'm used to like being in sneakers and jeans, and Dancing with the Stars is all about the gowns and glamour and the spray tans and the fake eyelashes and the Spanx, and so yeah, it's cool to have that different side.
That is cool. Me and my mom have been watching Dancing with the Stars for as long as I can remember.
Oh, that's
when
fun.
You finally came on, we were so excited.
Oh, that's nice.
And then you
Thank you.
became the co-host. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that was really fun.
Tell me a little bit about your experience working with Dancing with the Stars. Do you like it more or just as much?
Sports is always my love. It's kind of my thing, but I love being a part of entertainment. It's cool for me because it's not as much prep or study. Like, I study so much for football, and it's kind of hard to let loose a little bit with football, especially being a woman. You know, you can't kind of cut up a little bit like the guys can, but on Dancing with the Stars, I feel like I can show my personality, I can have fun, be sarcastic, kind of be a little bit of a fangirl. You know, if I love to dance, I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. I've got goosebumps, and I felt it, and stuff like that. You can do that. Whereas in sports, if I were to tell Dak Prescott, oh my God, that was an amazing touchdown, you know, people would be like, this chick's insane. So yeah.
How did your time here in college kind of help you prepare for that and help you prepare as becoming a reporter for Fox Sports?
I just think it really kind of immersed me in such a real life setting with what I'm dealing with now. It's not like we didn't have a football team that wasn't successful. I wanted to come here because we had a football team that was successful, and ESPN, CBS, you know, different writers, people I was used to seeing on TV and looked up to were here covering our football team, and that was really cool for me. And the environment and what you guys have here to learn from is so close to what we deal with day in and day out. It just gives you a real life taste and experience and a way to kind of groom you and get ready for what we do every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
No,
here,
it's so good, right?
that.
It's like, wow, I spent 4 years. It better be getting me ready. So yeah, no, it's awesome. Good for you guys.
Did you have like a defining moment here, whether it was like a person or event that kind of had a really big impact on you and your career?
I think actually, I mean, no, I wouldn't say it was a defining moment, but I would say that I grew up in the media industry because my dad is an investigative reporter for an NBC affiliate in Tampa, and my advisor, well, he was a professor, and he was known as like the really hard professor, and he was the one the very first day we sat in the class, and he's like, if you don't want to make 20 grand or 15 grand your first year, get out. If you don't want to, you know, you want a relationship and probably not to be divorced, get out. If you want to be home for holidays, get out. If you're overweight and you don't want to lose weight, get out. And he was just so real. And I had known about these things because my dad's in the industry. And I just was like, holy crap, this guy is speaking the truth. This is exactly how it is. And I went up to him that day and I just said, could you be my advisor? Because he was so honest, and I really, really liked that. So it was cool.
Yeah, we still kind of have that weed out class. I
Yeah.
remember going, probably not the same professor, but
I never
remember
made
going
better
through
than
that
a C in that class, which really ticked me off.
I'm in reporting right now. I don't know if you remember going through that class.
Oh, yeah.
But we are struggling. I don't know if I'm going to get higher than a C. But you only need a C to pass. So
Exactly. As long as your parents are fine with it, whatever.
So I don't know how much time we have left, but this
My watch isn't even set, so it never is. It's fine.
It's 3:06.
Oh, that went by very fast.
Sure.
If you had like one piece of advice to give women who are aspiring to be a sports reporter or something like that, what would it be?
I would say a couple things. One, have thick skin, because if you want to do this and you want to be in this, be in the public eye, and you want to have a Twitter account or an Instagram account that's public, people are going to make comments, and people are always going to think that they're better than you and that they could have asked a better question. And look, I'm saying all this right now and I'm believing it, and I'm like, oh yeah, just have thick skin. But it's hard. You work your brains out for a game, you study, and you get in the car to go to the airport after the game, and you see people just ripping your butt on Twitter, and it's really, really hard. And you just think to yourself, oh, God, am I this bad? And it's like, why am I even listening to this stuff? So you've got to have thick skin, because everyone's going to be an authority. The other thing I would say is study. You just have to be especially, females. We didn't play in the men's, NFL. We didn't play in the NHL. You have to be well researched. You have to know your stuff. You have to read as much as you can. And then I'm trying to think of a third. I don't know. Have fun. I mean, it's competitive. It's a grind. But I mean, if you give a little bit of personality and you kind of, put your touch on it, I think that's what makes people have a lot of success.
You talked about thick skin. Was that something that you've always had, or something that you worked on?
No, I still don't have it. I mean, I try really hard. I have to tell myself I'm not going to look at Twitter on game days, and I'm not going to look at Twitter after Dancing with the Stars, because people will rip your butt up. They're watching you. They'll say whatever they want. They don't care. They're faceless. They're nameless. They can rip you apart. And it's like, oh my God, how could you ever say mean things like that? They don't care. I mean, they live in their mom's basement. I mean, they're bored. So it's great I'm telling you that right now, but there's that random time you read it and you're like, no, that's so mean. So yeah, I'm still learning how to do it. Please, athletes all the time. I mean, they talk about people that rip them. So yeah.
Especially in today's age, how social media is such a big deal. Do you think that plays a really big factor into us as college students now getting a job and moving on? Or maybe not so much?
No, I don't think so. I think, where social media is really good is when you kind of become a brand and you're pushing something and you want other brands to sign on or sign you on, or you want to be marketed by a certain group. I don't think it affects if you're going to be hired or not hired or anything like that. I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Just because I want to know, can you take me through like your work week or what your average day looks
Sure.
like?
So during the football season, I'm also doing Dancing with the Stars. So it's a little bit of double duty. So it's kind of a lot and difficult. But I'll start on a Tuesday, because a Tuesday is really like my weekend. So Tuesdays, I only really have 2 days off at home, Tuesday, Wednesday. And those are days like you do your dirty laundry, you try to figure out what you're wearing that week, you get all your materials for the game you're going to go to. Say I'm doing Dallas Green Bay, and you kind of get everything you need to get done in those 2 days. Thursday, I'm usually on a plane. Say I'm going to Green Bay. Fly to Green Bay on Thursday night. In the morning, get up. We'll have probably a sit-down interview with Erin Andrews or whoever on the team. Go do the sit-down interview, then go to practice. Practice, you stand there for about 2 hours and you watch. Then after practice, you go inside the football facility and you meet with 4 to 5 guys, including head coaches and D-cords and so forth, and you're there for about 2.5 hours. Then Friday night is our cut-up night. We have a good time. We go to dinner. We have, some drinks. Saturday morning, we watch College Game Day, and we watch, the Gators and everybody else. And then we'll get on the phone with, like, the away team. So if it's, like, Dallas coming to town, we get on the phone with 5 or 6 guys, including coaches. We talk to them. And then Saturday, we have a production meeting, 6 o'clock, and then we go to dinner and we go to bed. It's the school night, and we're at the game. So, we're there 4 or 5 hours in advance. And then for me, I do the game, jump on a plane, probably don't land in LA till about 1 or 2 in the morning. And then I have to be in my car by 8:30 in the morning to get to Dancing with the Stars for Monday. I'm at the studio from 10 a.m. till 7:30 at night, and then it takes me an hour to drive home and have my Monday night, and then I have my 2 days off, and it starts all over again.
Like
Oh my. Okay, thank you.
So it's a little crazy pants.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Where
it's
do
a
you-
lot.
When do you even get to sleep? If I were you, I had bags under my eyes.
Well, I
24/7.
do. I highly recommend those Skyland Ice things. Those are fantastic. Yeah, I mean, you learn to cherish your sleep. It's like, you know, you think when you're young, you go out, when you're on the road and you have a good time, but other times you're like, I'm going to bed. I'm going to be in bed by 8 and, you know, watch my Real Housewives, get ready for the game. Yeah, there's not a lot of going out. Like Tuesday, Wednesday during football season, it's like you have dinner with your husband and then
Spend some quality time.
yeah, that's it. There's not much going on for me during football season.
Yeah. But football season is what's going on.
Yeah.
For you. That's all you really need to go on.
Yeah, exactly.
So one more question, because I know you have time's running up. What has been your most or your favorite experience as a sideline reporter? What's the one moment that really stands out to you in your life?
You know, there's been cool things where I've gotten to give the World Series trophy out to the Red Sox after the Boston bombing. I've gotten to give, you know, the national championship trophy out. I think the coolest part for me is the reason why I'm in sports is because of my dad. And so to have my dad out on the field, like when the Red Sox won the World Series, was super awesome. We walked out to the Green Monster and got our picture under the score board. That was really cool. Yeah, just anything like that. Just being like around when the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup, and I was working for ESPN and doing the broadcast. And my dad and mom were center ice at the Stanley Cup. That was really cool. So anything kind of with my family and you know, sports is really special.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Erin.
Of course, thank you. Yeah,
I really
thank you.
appreciate it.
Of course, yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Nailing it.